Hi, my name's Rod Walsh. I'm the founder and pastor of Forgotten Sinners. I started the Forgotten Sinners in prison some years ago. At that time I was teaching three prisons a week, and I saw so many people have a life-changing event with Christ Jesus, and I mean they really changed their lives over. But then eventually they got out, and some of them came back, and that saddened me. In fact, it just really made me want to cry because I know being in there once a week, there's no way I could really lay down some solid foundation of their faith. I could just lay down a rickety foundation. But so I thought if I could only start a church on the outside, I'd have more time with them when they got out. Well, so we decided let's try that, and the prisoners and I said, well, I want you guys to name it. So I went to all three prisons, told them the plan, and for them to come up with names. Then one guy came up with this name, Forgotten Sinners. And I thought, well, God doesn't forget you. He said, oh, I know, but churches do. We got all really quiet because we all realized he was right. And so the next week I came back with all the names, and it was almost unanimous to vote the name Forgotten Sinners. So that's where it got started. Well, eventually we got it started on the outside. We opened up our first one, and then things were happening good. But once I got it going really good, and the prison ministry is really good, I got content with that, and I just thought, okay, this is where I need to be. But you know what? God told me at the very beginning He wanted to open it up all over the city and all the crime and poor areas of Houston, and then from there go on to other cities. Well, I didn't do that. I just stopped right when I got going good with the first church, and then the prison ministry was doing fantastic. I thought, well, God should be happy. But with God, He's not happy unless you do exactly what He says. So He eventually threw me out of prison altogether. And I spent a long time moping and crying over that. And finally God says, okay, now go back and do what I told you to do. Open them up every place. So we opened up our second one about 3 months ago. And got our third one already set to go, and sometime in early spring. And then I'm working on the fourth one over in Hobby Airport area. So the whole idea is to take the church to these people because they don't have cars. So I had to bring the church to them. If I just try to hope that they might show up and ride a change bus after change bus, they'll never make it. They might make it 1 week or 2 weeks, but they won't make it continuously. So that's why we want to open them up every place. So when you talk about all these type of ministries like that, you've got a lot of ministries that will help pay their bills, their electric bills, their phone bills, their rent, give them clothes, food, and all that. Those are great ministries, but we just don't do that. My ministry is about going for the heart. Because see, only through the heart will people change. People think, well, let's educate them. But that doesn't work. You got a lot of highly educated prisoners in there, and they just do highly educated crimes. And look at Germany back in the 30s and 40s, one of the most intelligent countries, and they were the most evil country, killing millions of Jews. So education's not going to do it. We have to change what's going in the heart to where it comes out of the heart in the right way. You might be an atheist and you don't care anything about Jesus. I understand that. But when you think about it, crime affects you too. And the homeless people start showing up in droves at Forgotten Sinners also. And homeless people have been in and out of jail too. So now it's just a mixture of all kinds of people that just don't care for how churches are ran. But it's just a mixture of all kinds of people. So if you're atheist, who cares if you don't believe in Jesus? You do get affected by crime. You are affected by the homeless staying all over the streets. and littering up to places and stuff like that. So what's it going to hurt if you invested into it? I'm not going to try to turn you into a Christian. I have no desire to turn anybody into a Christian. That has to be coming from God himself. So to make this thing go, we work for God Centers on a shoestring budget, but we need money to keep on opening up on. I mean, right now we're in dire need. But if I start getting a bunch of $20 to $25 donations from a lot of people, we could continue going with this to other cities too. But we could take a big dent out of crime. We could take a big dent out of homeless. A lot of homeless people don't really like depending on the government for help, but they have to. And my ministry is to teach them to stop being dependent on drugs, stop being dependent on alcohol, and stop being dependent on government, and be dependent on Jesus himself, and he'll get you through. Again, for the atheists, what difference does it make? If it stops crime around your house, that's all you should care about. So, but I've seen so many people being dependent on Jesus, and they become upstanding citizens, getting a job, start supporting themselves, get their own place, get their own car. But it works. It really works. And I don't see any other way of taking care of the urban neighborhoods and the poor neighborhoods. We try to go for a fast movement and try to move and change people in a fast way that doesn't work. It's a slow process. And Forgotten Centers is doing that slow process, but we got the patience to do it. What we do is feed them when they come in. We have worship music, and then I do a sermon. But eventually, as we open up more and more Forgotten Centers, I'll have to get more preachers. And I don't think I'm going to have any problem doing that. A lot of people would like to volunteer for work like this. So, again, when you think about it, most of these people have never experienced love. And when you walk into a Forgotten Centers, you'll experience love. Jesus said that those who've been forgiven a lot love a lot. Well, that you're going to feel it inside there. And I'm going to end this with what Edmund Burke said some years back. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is good men to do nothing. Are you going to be that type to do nothing? We need your help. Even if you hate the homeless or the criminals, it's still going to affect you. Thank you.